Morning all, how are we all doing? Morning Danny, Paul, Neo, Harold, Ethereum Lux, new name, had to check it. Morning, how are we all doing? It's Tuesday, day before budget. DAX and FTSE both broken along this morning. So markets are underway. Morning JC, morning Paul, morning Barrier Man. Who's that? Morning Barrier Man. Are you bald? Just asking. Right, so today is Bitcoin pushing well. Is it? I don't know. Don't look at the Bitcoin. Morning, Nils. So today is Tuesday. We've got no news again. Well, we have got some news today. That's a lie. It's only jolts though. So we'll see what happens there. But so today basically is obviously the day before the budget and the CPIs and all the news kicks off. So from tomorrow onwards, we've got masses and masses of news. Tomorrow's autumn statement, basically the budget for the pound is obviously the main thing, but we've got CPIs in there and all sorts of stuff. So I think today's kind of the calm before the storm. So 2 o'clock this afternoon, we've got Jolts, which is half an hour after the market open. We've got Jordan speaking this evening as well, Macklem speaking, but that was yesterday, so nothing's really going to be enlightening in there. But Jordan, potentially, we could have something out of this afternoon, so need to be aware of that this evening. So yeah, light news day again today. Nothing overnight of any real excitement. Nothing out of Japan particularly either, which is worrying because they're not watching currency movements carefully. That US dollar yen still sitting comfortably above the 150, and we did the gap fill yesterday. But yeah, they're not screaming and shouting as they usually do in Japan about being worried. There you go. Cato emphasizes stability and fundamentals in FX moves. So kind of keeping an eye on it, but very quiet about it. So we'll see what happens there. But if that pushes and continues to push, we'll get some noise coming out of Japan about a potential intervention again. Apart from that, not a lot else overnight. We had unemployment for Japan, but that's it. So pretty quiet overnight. Nothing in the Middle East really escalated. Obviously, we've got North Korea now involved. They are backing the Russians up. So tensions are getting tenser. Morning, Florian. Morning, Virginia. So, yeah, we'll see what happens today. But I suspect today we'll have a fairly rotational day with a lot of stuff because really tomorrow is where it all kicks off. So just to be aware, we've got the CPI tomorrow morning for the Australian dollar. That's expected to drop. Next week, we've got the interest rate change, which they will probably drop if that comes out lower than forecast. Even if it comes out as forecast, they'll probably want to start dropping. We've got the Euro CPI numbers as well. And obviously GDP and loads of stuff. But that's the one that's going to kick off tomorrow. So got to be prepared with any pound. The only pound exposure I've got is the pound odd as a short. Had to take a second one on that yesterday. So 2 positions on that yesterday in a day. Big move. That Australian dollar, this is moving up because of the Australian dollar. So if we look at the Aussie, market really anticipating that drop in inflation and interest rates. So big drops on the Aussie overnight. Well, over the last couple of days, really. So morning travel. Morning AZ. So ADRs today, we've got nothing hit ADR so far today, but as you can see, the Aussies have started a little bit weak again. We've got an aggressive drawdown control position. I've just taken on the Aussie US today. So I'm kind of hoping they start to unravel a bit of this Aussie today, but we'll see. So I've got an aggressive on that, which has got about 1.5% risk on. Sorry, that's 3%. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's a second. What have I got 2 on? Oh, that's the aggressive from yesterday. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to stop out on that. aggressive. This is actually the aggressive from Friday. I moved the stop last night because the stop was here. So I moved it down another percent because I didn't want to get spread out on it, basically. As you know, brokers spread, and especially on Aussie and New Zealand pairs, you get massive spread overnight. So I moved the stop down last night because obviously I didn't want to get spread out. So that's going to be another 1% risk on top of what I was anticipating. But anyway, so ADR's flat. Nothing to look at there, nothing exciting. Weekly ranges, nothing's hit its weeklies yet. There's a lot of RSIs today, mainly this pound odd. So this is absolutely screaming up at the moment. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4, day 5, straight up on the daily. So big parabolic move underway on this. We've just got through, you can see I took another position at that monthly high. Screamed through it this morning, this Australian dollar getting hammered. So we're just getting up extended on the daily on this one. A lot of squeezy moves going on at the moment. A lot of squeezy moves going on at the moment. So a lot of potential change coming up in the next week with obviously elections and everything. So day 5 up. So looking for some kind of pullback after the rally. Ignore that spike. That was that weird move. So yeah, looking for a pullback basically to start underway. But obviously with the CPI numbers, the thing that might help with this one obviously is CPI tomorrow. If we get a 2.3 and a 0.3 forecast, the market's already factored that move in, so they might undo some of that before the interest rates come out next week. So yeah, so RSI's obviously pound odd, huge extension. Daily's pretty much there. The 4 hour we're up at 88. So again, you know, it's not often we get up into this sort of territory. We had a little flag break off of that one and obviously pull back, but no real fundamental reason why we should get a parabolic move like this. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously tomorrow, the pound is going to be moving on the budget. So I can't see any reason in what is forecast for the budget for the pound to rally. Yeah. So there's not really anything that is so far that we know in the budget. And obviously you don't know what exactly is going to come in the budget, but the hints that we've got so far, there's nothing positive. Everything is doom and gloom. Everything is tax rises. Everything is going to strangle the economy. Strangling the economy is bearish for currency. So there's nothing particularly bullish in the budget. So really that is what we would expect to see, pound dropping on the budget. It may not do anything, but if anything it will probably drop. Australian dollar obviously is weak because of inflation forecasts coming down tomorrow and interest rate potentially dropping next week. So the reason for this particular rally is more that than that. So tomorrow, this could easily be an A-shaped recovery. We could easily get a 200 ADR move. Obviously, bear in mind what happened last time. We had an unexpected budget and a big shift in budgetary stance, which is what we've potentially got coming tomorrow with Liz Truss. We collapsed 10 ADR within a couple of days. So just be wary if you've got longs on the pound. Yeah, because it's not really, there's not really anything particularly positive coming out of tomorrow at the moment, but you know, we don't know, so we might get something nice. Euro odd, I took a position on today. First entry on this one, nicely extended, so just looking for a pullback on the RSI extension. Again, this is Australian dollar weakness that's caused this rally at the moment. As you can see, it's still weakening. But euro is neutral, so when they start to unravel some of that, obviously we'll get out of that one, but just waiting for waiting to see what happens with this one. Target on this at the moment, I'm just going to put somewhere around the propulsion move, who's back down here, but obviously see how that one goes. But that's first entry on the euro odd. Aussie New Zealand first entry as well. Again, Australian dollar weakness, so that's pushed down. That didn't hit ADR, did it? No. So that one's coming down fairly nicely at the moment. We've just got the extension on the 4 hour. So again, just looking for that pullback, and in this case, rally up. So target is propulsion on the 4 hour, which is below last week's double top low, or double bottom low rather. So yeah, see how we go on that one. But those are your extensions today. Aussie dollar Swiss is also extended. Not quite enough for me, but that one's coming up fairly nicely at the moment. And Aussie US. So obviously everything at the moment is about the Australian dollar, but very, very stretched at the moment, the Aussie. So we're looking for some kind of correctional move to start profit taking this leg. Yeah, so same thing, pushes up, pulls back, pushes down, pulls up, pushes up, down, up, down. That's all it does, goes up and down all the time. So we're just waiting for the up. So we'll see what happens. But obviously the danger with this Australian is this CPI number tomorrow morning. So if that comes out lower than 2.3, yearly, I'd imagine I'd be very hard to come out lower than 2.3. But the quarterly, they could have got that wrong. That could be lower. But equally, it could also be higher. So if inflation figure is higher than forecast, that's going to be bullish for the Australian dollar. So there's, if you look at the forecast here, it's quite a big drop. They're forecasting a 0.7% drop in a quarter, which is big. So there's a good chance they may have over-egged that. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning, but it's out of our control. That's 12:30 tomorrow morning. That's pretty much it for the ADRs and RSIs. Let's quickly look at what's going on with the breaks. FTSE's hedged. So downside target, FTSE, where are we on the, just range band, isn't it? Horrible. Yeah, so downside target, nothing wrong with that. Propulsion gap to the downside, upside target. Last week, previous week's high. So yeah, I'm just going to leave the FTSE. See if we can get a 5-hour run on that. DAX. 2 inside bars. Nothing happening. Dead. Dead DAX. Got 4 longs on GU. Afternoon, Jules. Evening, even. I did answer your question in Discord, by the way, Jules. I don't know why you can't connect to the members group. Make sure you've got your YouTube channel connected in Discord. Once you've connected your YouTube channel, you should automatically just see access to the members group. But yeah, anything to do with lot sizing and risk is complicated because there's multiple things at play. Number of decimals, what a tick is valued, your base currency compared to the currency that you're trading. So if you're trading New Zealand dollars and you're trading the DAX, you're actually trading the euros with New Zealand. So you've got the exchange rate there. There's a lot of moving parts. It's very complicated, unfortunately. So you kind of have to do your own work on that. Can't really help with that. Is there a pair I can jump on? Yep. Five. Aussie US. Jump on that. Oh, it's already up there. There you go. That's the 5th pair down in my market watch. There you go. Aussie US. Jump on that. Nicely extended to the downside. Looking for a pullback on that leg. Drop down, lower time frame. Wait for a reversal. I'm sorry, I'm giving you a stupid answer because you gave me a stupid question. Is there a pair you can jump on? Yes. Why you should jump on it though? There's 1,000 reasons. Right, that's all I've got for the analysis on FX today. Tomorrow's going to be a very weird day because of this budget. So whenever you've got this type of thing hanging over a individual currency, the markets have no focus but that. So tomorrow the entire industry is going to be looking at the pound, looking at what the positioning should be on the pound. So what we've got to do basically is just sit and wait, unfortunately, with this. So everything that happens tomorrow with the pound, it may be absolutely nothing. The market may look at it and go, well, they've delivered exactly what we were expecting them to deliver. So business as usual. We could have a massive shock that will drive it skyward or absolutely tank it. But either way, to actually move something dramatically, you have to use other currency to do it. So obviously with everything that you trade, there's a cross. So when you're trading the pound, if the pound is going to collapse or rally tomorrow, to make that happen, they have to get a load of other currencies loaded up. Yeah. So if you're going to sell all your pound, you've got to put your pound somewhere. It's either going to rally into the CAD, the US, or somewhere else. So everything will be volatile tomorrow, potentially, or not. Yeah, we could have absolutely nothing happen tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, any pairs you want to have a look at, let me know, and I will analyze. Today in the members stream, we're going to do understanding the probabilities of trading. So today, so I'm just laughing of, I've watched some videos this morning on goats fainting. I've never seen goats fainting before. If you haven't done it, go to YouTube and Google goats fainting. They've got a scientific sodium imbalance in them, which means they lock up. Very funny. Shouldn't laugh, but anyway. Probabilities of trading and what an edge is what we're covering in the members stream today. So we're going to look at exactly what an edge is and how everything is affected by the probabilities of trading, and yeah, using this Swiss Army knife EA basically to just sort of explain what impact stuff has on trading, on probabilities and things. So it's a bit of a technical one, but it's important. Understanding what an edge is one of the key things I missed for many years, and it's really, really simple what an edge is. US dollar CAD looks like a stalling plane. I really, really hope so. I've got a nice aggressive drawdown control position on this. So we're back up at the highs where we started that drop. So I'm hoping they just hold it at this level for the moment. Obviously with the elections next week, this thing could go absolutely anywhere. These elections are very odd. We've got a lot of firsts in this election. We've got a president coming back for another term potentially. We've got a first female president. It's so unbelievably tight. It could go either way. If Trump gets in, typically that's good for the US economy. Whether or not that is what they factored in, and when Trump gets in, it drops because we've done the move, we don't know. It could completely pump further, couldn't it? If Kamala gets in, it could drop the US dollar because we could have a load of tensions. There's so much that can happen with it. It's an incredibly volatile time around elections. Monetary policy shifts, all that sort of stuff is what drives this thing. So, but yeah, this is a good spot for aggressive drawdown control because we've got a massive rally, obviously, that we're looking for the pullback on now. Yeah, so we're looking either to reverse or at least to pull back. Yeah, one of those two. Yeah, everything that goes up has to come down. If it doesn't come down, it means they're not taking profit. If they're not taking profit, they're not making money. Therefore, it has to come down. So it's just a case of the timing. So at the minute, this is obviously quite difficult to forecast because if it was a normal market at the moment, I'd be saying anytime now. The problem is we've got the elections coming up. So what I'm hoping the market doesn't do is sit around for the next week and wait for those elections before it does something, because that means we're just going to go into an accumulation up here, and that isn't going to help. So this aggressive drawdown control that I've got on up here, I'm taking off here, as you can see. So I'm just looking for literally a tiny little flag to form, and then I'll get out of that and I will start chopping this off. So I'm going to reduce this down dramatically. I ideally want to get flat by Tuesday. So I've turned the EA off on everything US based. I've turned the EA off on everything pound based. I'm not taking any more exposure on. And if I can get out of these by Tuesday, brilliant. But I'm not taking any more exposure. I'm making some changes to the way that I trade as well. I'm going to reduce risk on the position trading account, and reduce the size of it as well, because it's been an absolute hideous year. And what I don't want is for this to continue to struggle going into next year without some other diversification in place. SIH has done pretty good this year. But I did my tax return yesterday. Wasn't pretty. Well, it was. I'm due a rebate because I've earned less money. So not good. Whenever you get a rebate from the tax man, it means your year has been worse than the previous one, because obviously we have to pay in advance. So yeah, it's always good when you do your tax return and you look at it and go, ow. So makes you think, makes you make changes. Barrier Man, you've got to change your name. I can't be serious with your name being Barrier Man. So yeah, that's it pretty much for today. There's nothing much else to look at the moment. We're waiting on news. Today is going to be hit and miss. We have got potential movement this afternoon on the US. This is the one that could be a big mover. My Swiss yen position, this thing's off. Look at this. I'm in 4 trades. I only got into this on Friday. Was it Friday? No, hang on. It wasn't on Friday. It was on it was before that, wasn't it? Where are we? Monday. No, it's Friday last week, wasn't it? This thing's from sitting around. The only reason I took this trade here was because we've had 2 weeks of virtually nothing, and before that it's been very calm. Sod's law, isn't it? As soon as I get into the thing, it takes off like a lunatic. Yeah, average is nice and easy. It's 125 ADR. I'm targeting a retest of the weekly, but that potentially is going to help me today with Jordan. So Jordan hopefully will dump the Swissy this afternoon. Breakout trades on the Swiss yen. Yep. Yes. There's only 3 strategies that exist on the planet. One of them will work every single time. If you knew which one it was, you'd be a billionaire, but you don't. So yeah. But yeah, nice breakout. So we need to see if it's going to go into a trend, basically, but don't know. Who cares? I just wait. Right, so if you're coming into the member streams at 9 o'clock, we're going to just muck about with the Swiss Army knife and basically look at probabilities today. So it's not really a mathematical session. It's more of a case of understanding what an edge is and how you find an edge, more importantly. So the key focus of today's session is really how to find an edge. Yeah, the process you go through to see if there is an edge in a strategy. And it's really handy every time you find a strategy. There's a really easy way to discover if it's got an edge or not. Oh, the other thing as well, for those that were in the member streams yesterday, and we were doing that session on the RSI2 strategy. Basically, the guy who came up with it, whose name I can't pronounce, he's got a different name in Telegram to Discord, said we were testing it on FX. It's for basically long only positions on indices. Yeah, on the 5-minute time frame. So I did that test on the 5-minute time frame as well, because I couldn't find an edge in it. If you're in the member streams yesterday, you know, we went through it in detail, did loads of testing on it, can't find an edge. So apparently I should be only doing this on stock indices on the 5-minute chart and long only. Yeah, I still can't find an edge. So apparently a lot of testing's been done on it over 4 years, and it made money in 2 years and then took a hit, and then it started making money again. All I can produce with this is a negative equity curve and stagnation. I can't make it profitable at all. So I'm obviously doing something wrong. So yeah, I just can't make it work. So unfortunately, I did some more testing on it yesterday after the stream when the person got in touch with me. Can't get it working. The only thing I haven't tried is a positive R on it. I suppose I could try a positive R on it. That might work. We'll try. I did a carry trade once. I got carried off on a stretcher. Yep. Yes. Is this position trader long only? No, there's nothing to do with position trader EA. It's a different strategy. Yeah, see, that's better. Still not making money though, is it? This is basically someone came up with an RSI2 strategy based on M5 and M15 to trade long only on the stock indices. So you basically just wait for RSI2 on the 15-minute to get extended below the 5 level and you just buy it. But I've tried loads of different variations. This, for those that don't know, haven't been in the member streams, I've got an EA which I call the Swiss Army knife, and I can basically execute any strategy under the sun, basically, on this thing. It does absolutely everything. Any entry criteria or exit criteria you can think of, this will execute it. And I've tried loads, and I can't get it profitable. So, and this is partly what we're going to be covering today. Is about discovering an edge. This is proving to me there is no long-term edge in this strategy. Therefore, chuck it away. Don't waste any time on it. It doesn't work. Well, no, I can make it work anyway. Have you ever thought of long-only position trade at EA on the indices? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, there's a strategy on the if you go to the market reverse alerts EA or the position trader EA, doesn't matter which. There is a strategy there for the S&P 500. So this is you can use either the position trader EA or the market reverse alerts EA to execute this strategy. They both will do it. But basically it's a S&P 500 strategy. I ran this strategy with Axie for 2.5 years, 2 years maybe, as a kind of pension fund account. And it's really, really good strategy, basically just buying the dips. But this is not what the S&P does now. Yeah, this is what I say. This year has proven very much that this market it's like trading a completely different market. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've never seen a market like this in FX before. It's unbelievable. It's just totally different. Everything that you expect to happen is not happening, and everything that normally would happen when something happens isn't happening. Yeah, people must be pulling their hair out left, right, and center because no strategy is doing what it used to do, because the market movement is totally different now. The S&P 500, this is what it used to do. Did it for decades. It's not doing it anymore. Yeah, so long-only strategies on indices are absolutely great, and that is exactly what you should be focusing on. But good luck long-only strategying this thing at the minute. Yeah, it's not doing what it normally does. Indices are just not doing the norm. They are not trending in the way they usually trend. Markets are stagnant. Companies are strangled at the moment. There's an absolute shift going on. You know, it's a very, very, very different market. So we're going to look at some of Larry Williams and Larry Connor's strategies in the members streams, and we're going to test them. And they are basically long-only strategies. Most of those, they're big stock traders, and most of their strategies were long-only pullback breakout strategies. But they used to work really, really well. So I'm going to test them over the last year or two's worth of market, and we'll see if we can make them work now. But I'm pretty sure they will struggle. So you look at the Dow. Yeah. This is a parabolic trend from COVID. So COVID is there. That's the COVID collapse. You can't see it's behind my head. Then we had, and this is the thing that screwed the markets up. So COVID basically broke the stock markets because we had this collapse in the stock markets. Just trying to get rid of me. So we had this collapse in the stock markets for COVID. Yeah. And then we had this recovery, and this is what killed the markets. You cannot move parabolic in stock price for a company that's shut. Yeah. We closed our economies around the world when COVID hit. The stock price of every company went through the roof. They weren't selling anything. They weren't doing anything. Some of them were. Netflix killed it. Peloton killed it. But there's 500 stocks in the S&P 500. There's 30 industrial stocks in the Dow. Yeah, if you're not making stuff, industrial stocks don't do well. But we've got artificially inflated prices, which caused the largest bear market we've had in pretty much a century. Since that bear market kicked in after that bull market, so the biggest move we've ever had in history, followed by the biggest move we've ever had in history, the thing's just not doing what it used to do. Larry Connors, Larry Williams, and all the S&P buy the dip strategies all worked before COVID. If you did it for that year, every single account made a loss, and a big loss, because this is not a bull market. This is not a bull market. That is a parabolic bull market. You can't get in on pullbacks because it isn't pulling back. Then we go into 4 months worth of, or 6 months worth of no movement. Yeah. Look at the screenshot that I just put up. That's what the stock indices used to do. That's not what they're doing now. Yeah. So long only strategies. Yeah. There is more likelihood of a stock index continuing to go up, but the way that it goes up has changed. Yeah. So easy. So easy. But now this, I haven't got the moving average shadow on that account, but if you put it on any stock index at the moment, you won't find that beautiful pullback structure. It's just not working. Oh, for the .com market. Yeah. It's, you know, and this is the thing. This is why everybody fails at trading. Yeah, because they don't understand that the markets adapt, and you wouldn't. I didn't understand for years that you couldn't have a strategy that was successful for a long period of time, because the market doesn't do that. Markets change all the time. World economics change. The way that countries deal with each other changes. A new leader comes in and changes the economic stance of the country. The FX markets get affected. The stock markets get affected. AI comes along and makes all people that are in design and any IT related jobs redundant. The IT industry stock prices go through the roof. Why? Because they haven't got any overheads anymore, so they just make more money. Or they haven't got any overheads anymore, so they reduce their prices, bringing their stock value down. One of those two things is going to happen over the next 2 to 3 years with AI. Which is it going to be? It's certainly not going to be what it was for the last 4 years. So the stock indexes, specifically the NASDAQ, not going to move in the same way at all. But if you've got a strategy that's worked for the last 2 years, brilliant. The next 2 years are totally different. The only way you can extract money from a market that has complete randomness is using something that scales in and out of movement, because it will always move. How it moves, never going to be the same 2 years back to back. 5 years position trading on YouTube. This year, awful. Previous 4, fantastic. Killed it. Absolutely killed it. Yeah, markets are different this year. So I've got to adjust, got to change the way that I do things. And the strategies will all work. But the thing that changes is the speed of extraction of cash. Yeah. The markets will still do that. And as long as they do that, position trading and DCA will always work. The speed that they do that at changes. So instead of that, we get that. Yeah. That takes 3 times longer to extract cash from than that does. Yeah. An A-shaped recovery over 2 weeks takes 2 weeks to extract cash. A push, pause, drop that takes 4 weeks takes 4 weeks to extract cash. The problem I've had this year is swaps and time in trade, massively bigger than normal. Yeah, and that's what's affected my P&L this year. So I've got to change, got to adapt. I have to assume worst case scenario stance that is how the market's going to continue. If it doesn't, brilliant. What will happen is I'll get out faster with less money. Yeah, so you just got to adapt. And, you know, this is the thing. Long only strategies used to be great on indices. Yeah, you can't use a long only strategy in something that isn't going long. Look at the NASDAQ as well. These dips, which this lasted for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah, that lasted for a year, over a year and a bit. It's not normal, is it? And look at the speed of the parabolic movement in this thing. And then look at this month and a half A-shaped recovery. Go back and look at how it used to be. It's just not the same, is it? Yeah, you can't buy the dip here because it's not a dip, it's a reversal. And we still haven't broken that high. You know, it's just a different world now. So trade different. But if you analyze price action and shoehorn something into price action, and price action changes, it's all going to change again, isn't it? DAX is hedged, so double hedged today. Not very nice downside today. Oh, not a very nice upside either, really. What a horrible market. I'm just going to leave them at 5R. Chances of hitting that is remote. That's... I'm going to see if we can attempt the 2-week high, basically. So we got last week's high and the 2-week high coming up here. So if we break long, I'll look for limit order triggers at those highs, but I'll be ready to re-hedge it. Yesterday's close to the downside, basically in propulsion. So there. Bit tight on the DAX today. So looking for 3R to the downside and 2.5R to the upside. So just got to be a bit careful today because obviously these are quite close targets. So looking for them to rebuy yesterday's close on the DAX. Just chopping around at the minute. Nasty day today. Could you please tell us on Discord if you get out from aggressive drawdown? I could do. Well, yeah, I mean, you'll see it. I'll get out of aggressive drawdown control positions if the stop loss gets hit on them. Or if they hit target. I mean, I can tell you, but it doesn't affect you anyway because you're not in the same trades as I've been, are you? The Euro Bund has been playing the ORB out amazingly. I've never traded the Bund. The Bund's slow, isn't it? I thought the Bund was a slow one, but I also haven't got access to the Bund, so can't trade it. I don't think I've got access to the Bund. I don't know. I don't know. Loads of clean breaks. Trading on futures, yeah. Yeah, it might, you know, anything that has an open, the opening range breakout strategy, obviously I trade it on these indices, but anything that has an open, ORB will work on. Yeah. Because the whole premise of the strategy is literally it doesn't matter what you're trading. If there is a time of day where it goes nuts because the volume increases, that is what the ORB strategy is. We're not playing direction, we're playing momentum. It's a momentum breakout strategy. So when you get momentum, and it breaks out. If it continues to break out, you make a load of money. That's literally it. So anything that moves at a set time is fair game. So if the Bund has the open at 8 a.m, go for it. As long as there's enough liquidity in it to get the trades on, it's not a problem. Nice reversal. So we're just about to get a reversal alert on the US dollar CAD. So yesterday we had that reversal alert here, which was probably, we had reversal alerts back down here before, but this is the first one we've had for a good couple of days. We then came up and invalidated the reversal. So you can see that that candle now is the new reversal alert. So it's pretty much the same place, but basically what you're looking at is the M pattern reversal. Yeah, so we did actually kind of gap down and break those lows yesterday, but this is the proper break. So really this is your lower high, and we're putting in the lower low now. So we've got 19 minutes left on this candle. If this gives us the reversal alert today, we'll be looking basically for a push back down in to test this accumulation and see if we've got any more buyers sitting around here. We'll be watching that level as well to the downside, but yeah, looking good at the moment. See what the other US pairs are up to. US Swiss is rallying. The Swiss and the yen basically can't really tell. Let's look at the pound. Yeah, this is Canadian dollar strength that we're seeing at the moment. So Aussie CAD is down. CAD Swiss up. CAD yen will be up. Euro CAD will be down. Not much down, but it's down. So this is Canadian dollar strength. Or whether we're seeing on the US dollar CAD, it's not the US dollar, it's the Canadian dollar that's rallying. Pound also rallying. Look, pound and CAD both equally today by the looks of things. And the Australian dollar. Everything's on the move today, isn't it? Weird day today. Everything's pushing against each other with equal strength a lot of the time, so we're not getting much movement. So we'll see. Might get some ADRs today, but I just get the feeling the market's going to sit around until tomorrow. So right, I'll leave it there. So if you're coming into the member streams, I'll see you at 9 o'clock in 20 minutes time. I'll be back tomorrow. 2 hedges today, so if this doesn't move, it's just going to lock in the hedge loss, which is $500. But hopefully we'll get some movement on these today. But very tricky one today because we're stuck in ranges on both the DAX and the FTSE. So my assumption is that we're going to remain within these ranges at the moment. So if we get range highs and range lows, I shall get out. But tricky one today, especially the DAX. This is just nasty price action, isn't it? It's just all over the place at the minute. So I'm going to assume that we're going to get limit triggers there, and that we're just going to potentially pull back. Tricky one. Right. So I'll be back tomorrow. I'm working on the position trader EA today, trying to get the ADR exit facility built into it. So I'm going to try and incorporate the old ADR distance exits into the position trader EA in the same way as it worked with the market reversal alerts EA. So fingers crossed I'll get that finished off this afternoon, and then I'll be able to get that rolled out. Right. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord. Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow, and I will see you then. Have a good day.